Hello and welcome. Today, we are going to tackle a topic that's, well, it's absolutely essential for any modern business, but it often sounds a whole lot more complicated than it needs to be. We're talking about IT governance. Really, at its heart, it's just the rule book that turns a company's technology from a source of total chaos into a real source of strategic control. So let's kick things off by looking at why that chaos is so darn expensive in the first place. All right, so first, let's talk about the problem. Why is this even a conversation we need to have? It all boils down to the staggering amount of money companies pour into technology year after year. A Forrester's study really puts this into perspective. It found that enterprises spend, on average, almost 5% of their entire revenue on IT. Now, for a big company, we're talking about a massive, multi-million-dollar investment. And when that much money is on the line, any bit of chaos becomes incredibly, incredibly expensive. And that leads us to the one question that every single leader should be asking themselves. You're spending all this cash on tech, but is it actually working for you? Is it lined up with your business goals? Is it delivering real, tangible value? Or is it just kind of there? Because, without a clear plan, what you usually get is this perfect storm. You start seeing duplicated systems popping up in different departments, you get really weak accountability when IT fails, and you have projects that, well, they might sound interesting, but they do absolutely nothing to move the company's real strategy forward. It's basically organized chaos, and man, is it expensive. So, what's the answer to all this chaos? You guessed it, IT governance. This is the strategic framework that brings order, focus, and a real sense of purpose to all that technology spending. If you strip it all down, IT governance is really just the system for making decisions about technology. Who gets to make the call? How do they decide what's important? And who's on the hook if things go wrong? It's really that straightforward. This quote from the IT Governance Institute just nails it. It takes that simple idea and really elevates it. It shows that IT governance isn't just some issue for the IT department to worry about. It's a core part of how the entire company is run. It's all about making sure technology is actively supporting and even extending your business strategy. So, how do you actually build this kind of strategic control? Well, it's not just one single action. It's a whole system, and it's built on 3 core pillars. Getting these 3 things right is absolutely crucial. So first up is structure. Plain and simple, who has the authority to make the decision? Second, process. What's the clear, fair system for looking at and prioritizing where the money goes? And finally, communication. How do you actually prove you got results and then share those wins with everybody, from the boardroom all the way down? And this right here, this shows you the why behind the how. Those 3 pillars we just talked about, structure, process, and communication, they exist for one reason: to support these 5 critical business goals. You've got to align IT with your strategy, deliver real value, manage your risks, use your resources wisely, and of course, measure your performance. Now, here's the good news. You don't have to invent this whole system from scratch. Nope. There are really well-established, road-tested frameworks out there that give you an excellent place to start. This little breakdown makes it super clear who the major players are. You've got COBIT, which is kind of like your strict auditor, focused on controls and compliance. Perfect for industries with a lot of regulations, like finance. Then there's ITIL, your helpful service manager, who's all about delivering reliable IT services. And that's crucial for any business whose customers rely on their tech running smoothly. And then there's ISO 17799, which is like the security guard, laser-focused on information security. The big takeaway here is that they work together. Most companies actually borrow bits and pieces from all 3. Let's just zoom in on COBIT for a second, because it's one of the most complete frameworks out there. Now, the full diagram can look pretty intense, I know, but the main idea is that it gives you a complete roadmap. It breaks the entire life of your IT into 4 main areas, from planning and buying new tech all the way to delivering it and monitoring it, making sure every single stage is under strategic control. Look, implementing these frameworks isn't like flipping a switch, it's a journey. And this maturity model is a fantastic tool to figure out where you are on that journey. Are you at level 0, non-existent, where it's a total free-for-all? Or have you made it all the way to level 5, optimized, where governance is just a seamless, even automated part of your strategy? This helps you figure out where you are now and where you need to go next. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get down to brass tacks and look at the essential steps for actually putting this to work in your own organization. This is basically your cheat sheet. Forrester boils it all down to 5 essential actions. First, and this is non-negotiable, it has to start with executive buy-in. Then you build your structures. Think IT steering committees. Next, you define the processes. And remember, borrow from frameworks like COBIT and ITIL. And finally, and I can't say this enough, you have to communicate every step of the way to make sure it actually sticks. Let's not lose sight of the grand prize here. This is not about control just for the sake of control. The entire reason for doing all of this, the whole purpose of IT governance, is to transform the IT department from being a necessary expense into a proactive, strategic partner that actively drives business growth and innovation. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to mull over for your own organization. Is your IT strategy being intentionally designed to drive success, or is it just kind of happening by default? The answer to that question, well, it could change everything. Thanks for joining me.